Throughout the years, Lisa has been an inspiration to so many, both to our students here and to our community members. We at CR and the larger community have been truly blessed by her continuous involvement and guidance. It is our honor to induct her into the CR Alumni Hall of Fame. Lisa, would you please come forward to get your review?
Good morning. I look out and I just see all your beautiful and handsome faces, and it reminds me and makes me think I was just where you are. It feels like I was just where you are. Waiting to graduate, sitting patiently. Okay, not that patiently. I remember thinking, are they ever going to stop talking? So I'll try not to go too long. My story is one about choices. When I was out there as a soon-to-be graduate, like you are, 27 years ago, yes, I started college when I was 5. Actually, in 1980, I had just graduated from Eureka High and had no intentions of going to college. I was done with school. That summer, I had a job processing checks for an insurance company. By the end of that summer, I was done typing and processing checks. I remember telling a friend of mine, surely there must be something better than this. And she said, first, don't call me Shirley. And secondly, there is something better. It seemed almost random at the time, but she and I both had received letters from College of the Redwoods about the dental assisting program. So I had a choice to make if I wanted to continue freedom and type checks for the rest of my life. So I and my friend both decided to do the dental assisting program at CR. Cheryl and I were high school friends and took the whole program together. She was instrumental in me not quitting many times. We shared rides and continued to encourage each other. And 2 years later, in 1982, we were sitting where you are, listening to somebody talk about something at commencement. Sound familiar? While at CR, I was fortunate to get an internship at a local dental office with Dr. Burke. The next choice I had after graduation was whether to stay there or find work at a different dental office. It seemed like an easy choice at the time because I thought he was mean and intimidating. And at that time, I didn't think I liked him. It was a really hard first year working in his office. Of course, I might have given him a cause to be frustrated, like the time I, during surgery, got his hair caught in the suction tube. But some of the other less than good choices I made in the 80s shed some light on Dr. Burke's true character, and more on that later. In January 1986, Karen Sperry, the CR Dental Assisting Director, contacted me and asked me to join her for lunch. I love free food, so that choice was easy. But the next opportunity surprised me. She asked me to join her on staff to teach in the dental assisting program. I had been working at Dr. Burke's office for a few years by then, and my son was 3 months old. I never even considered going into teaching until that lunch with Karen, despite the circumstances that seemed to be against it. Circumstances like no experience teaching. Circumstances such as a young baby that was far from walking or talking, but curiously, not that far from throwing a baseball 90 miles an hour. More on that later. And circumstances such as a marriage that was struggling. Despite these circumstances, I felt comfortable making the choice to teach because I had the full support of my boss, Dr. Burke. And Karen obviously saw something in me to know that I could teach, and to Karen Sperry, I say thank you. By the next year, my marriage was over, and my son Cody was closing in on 2 years old and still throwing baseballs at a high rate of speed. So I found myself needing to raise Cody on my own, and this is where Dr. Burke continued to support me and show that my choice to stay with him was one of the best decisions I could possibly make. For 20 years, Dr. Burke accommodated my teaching schedule and my son's sports schedule, which included some football games, some wrestling matches, and a lot of baseball games. I've added them up, 7,341 1/3 innings, from t-ball to intercollegiate baseball. A little side note about my son Cody. At Redwoods College in Wisconsin, he became the first pitcher in school history to pitch a perfect game. He graduated last year with his psychology degree, and I'm very proud of him. Dr. Burke encouraged me to continue my education and saw that I needed extra encouragement and support as a single parent, and he gave it to me. And for all that, I say thank you, Dr. Burke. My parents were also there every step of the way, and to them I say thank you. In recent years, I've had other choices to make, whether to marry again, whether to be a college pastor at my church, whether to have another child. I did marry again in 2004. Tom Trepiak and I were married. And my love and my best friend, thank you for fanning into flame the gifts that God's given me and for your unconditional love. We became co-college pastors at our church a year later and have a daughter, Naomi, who was born 2 years ago. Hi, Naomi. I had to shake the Cheerios off my dress before I came up here. We recently helped our church to identify a young couple to take over the college ministry for us. I've loved these last 4 years in that role where we've mentored and prayed for dozens and dozens of college kids. It also gave me an in when talking to students and even when talking to you today, because by simply stating that my husband and I are co-college pastors, it opened the door for someone to eventually come to me when they needed prayer or wanted to talk about Jesus. The point of all this? First, recognize that the Lord will put people in your life that see things in you that you don't see. You don't have to clap again, but I want to say it again. The Lord will put people in your life that see things in you that you don't see. Listen to those people. Let them be your cheerleader. I was a cheerleader, sorry, I had to say that. I had the privilege of being a cheerleader for Hillary Reed when she was a pretty good student of mine, and now she's even a better boss. Thank you, Hillary. Many people who specialize in recognizing students' gifts are right here as members of CR faculty. For me, it's great to be a part of a college that creates opportunities. It has given me, and it's given you, a chance and a choice. To the dental assisting class of 2009, way back there, I think, raise your hands, okay? I have a very important word of advice for you. When you go to the deli at the supermarket to order a sandwich, you want to order cold cuts, not cone cuts. Sorry, everybody else. But seriously, I love all of you. Thank you, and God bless.